Hello, Sandman Nation. Well, I just got back from a nice long weekend in Dallas with some of my college buddies. We had a great time, but guys, I got back to Cincinnati and there's freaking snow on the ground. I walk in the house, the fireplace is on. My wife put a heated blanket on her bed already. It's early November. What the F is happening? I'm not ready for winter yet. But you know what I am ready for? Another awesome pod with you two. So let's get into it because it is time to enter Sandman Sports. Bill, Pat, so nice to see you boys. How we doing today? Ready for another great show?
I think so.
Yeah,
A little sleepy.
ready to roll.
But
Good. Me too. All right. Well, let's jump right into the random questions of the day. Bill, I know this is your favorite segment, and it is your turn to go first. So let's get in.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. All right. Jump right in. Here we go. I'll ask it. And I'll give you a minute. I'll go to Pat after I ask it. So you have a little bit of time to think about it.
Okay.
If you could erase one everyday inconvenience from existence, what would it be and why? All right. So just something that irritates you, but you got to kind of do it every single day. So, all right.
Okay.
So
there's
you
a lot
think
that
about
irritates me.
I know. Well, I figured I'd give Bill a chance to
Pet peeves. Bring it back.
That's a layup.
Yeah, I did. I gave him a tough one last time. So, all right, Pat, here you go. This one's interesting. Here you go. Would you rather visit the International Space Station for a week, or would you rather spend a week in a hotel at the bottom of the ocean?
Neither. I'm a little claustrophobic, so the bottom of the ocean would suck. They would both suck. I guess for the fear of heights, I would pick the ocean, I guess.
Wow.
God, wow. Yeah, I think I'd go ISS. I'd freak out being underwater like that for so long.
With that whole Titan sub thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The answer is neither. The correct answer here is neither.
Weightlessness would be cool.
Well, I do. Okay, Pat or Bill, let's hear it, man. What are we? What
so
everyday thing are we moving?
This is more specific to me than it's probably like everybody deals with this thing. But in Fall City, where we live very close to the grocery store that my wife's parents ran for 30 plus years. So the house is basically right behind the store. And every single day we hear their store alarm go off. The new owners, I don't know if they don't know how to work their own alarm system, but so I'm going to say alarms in general, because we hear this thing and it's like 5 a.m. And then car alarms. Car alarms are the dumbest thing that still exist. No one pays any attention.
Right.
If a car alarm goes off, you don't go, oh, somebody's stealing this car. I better go
call 911.
Yeah. I mean, people are just like, turn off your freaking alarm. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
So alarm.
That's a good one. There's got to be a better way, because we have an alarm system, and I'm glad we do. It gives me peace of mind, and it's good.
Sure.
But our dog gets up every day at 3 or 4 in the morning, and guess who she comes to wake up? This guy. So I go and I wait. She sleeps in bed with us. I go take that dog down every single morning around 3 or 4, and 99% of the time I will remember to turn the alarm off. But that time when I forget to turn it off, it's loud, and it wakes up everybody at 3 or 4 in the morning. And then then they call you, and then you got to talk to them for a minute. And
Sorry,
it is
my dog.
just, I wish there was like a fail safe. Like if you're opening it from the inside versus from the outside. Yeah, I don't know how it would be done, but I agree with you. It's a little irritating.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm just like, you do this every single day. You set this alarm up. You should know how to turn it off. It shouldn't be going for 30 seconds as
That's
you're
a
like,
good point. That's a good point.
Oh my gosh, what are we doing, guys? So anyway, that would be my inconvenience.
That's good, man. I think that's good. And any chance to give you a chance to bitch about something, that's a good day and a good start.
Always
good way to start my day
to the podcast. Exactly. So, Well, guys, we don't have alarms. We're not in outer space. We're not underwater, but we are definitely online and we want you to join us. So please check us out at savemeandsports.com for all kinds of awesome content. We're publishing up to 6, 7, 8 new articles most days, ranging from all the major sports, some more on the general side, but certainly some more specific to the sports betting world as well. If you like smart, entertaining takes on sports and sports betting, please visit us and be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, all at NRC Man Sports. All right, guys, well, let's get into the opening. So, Bill, I know you've missed a few episodes, handful of episodes in the past couple months. So I'm not sure if you've noticed, but Pat's been acting all smart on us lately. He's been trying
So
to
smart.
yeah, he's been trying to get a little sophisticated, and every once in a while he'll just throw in this thing about him reading. Oh, I've been reading books. Oh, good for you. As I'm sitting over here freaking watching cartoons in the Big Ten network, and Bill or Pat's trying to
Dumbass.
make me feel, yeah. Thanks, Pat. So, anyways, it got me thinking about books. We talk a lot about movies, we talk about music, TV shows, but we've never really talked about books. So that's what our opening today is going to be about. And guys, I've never been a big book guy, but whenever I do decide to actually sit down and commit to read one, I almost always enjoy it. Now, of course, when we were in school, we all had to read books. We didn't really have a choice. And I'm sure some of those we enjoyed and some of those we did not. So today's opening is going to be all about books. So let's just start by sharing, what are some of your favorite books you've ever read? We'll talk about some that we didn't necessarily like, but let's just start with some books that we really enjoyed. These can be ones you read as an adult for entertainment purposes, or ones that you had to read in high school or college but actually liked it. And just to be fair, we're talking about the book itself. We're not talking about any movie adaptation that might have came from that. So just the experience of reading the book that we enjoyed. So, all right, Pat, why don't you start us off, man?
Look, my parents are big readers, always have been. My dad would always ask my friends when they come over what books they were reading, and half of my friends I'm not even sure could read. And it was really awkward. My dad's kind of awkward that way, but he's a wealth of knowledge. And but when I was a kid, my mom would read my favorite books, and I think it starts there. Parents reading to their kids. She would read me Make Way for Ducklings. I don't know if you guys ever read Make Way for Ducklings, but it's a classic. And then, when I was younger, did you guys ever read Johnny Tremaine in school? The book Johnny Tremaine?
No.
Do you guys didn't know for history
I've
class?
never heard of that one.
I don't remember that. No.
No. All right. But then when I was younger, it was like in high school and stuff, it was John Grisham books, The Pelican Brief and The Firm. We talked about that. And, but then I got into college and I got into a radical lit class, and I was an English major. So, read a lot of cool things. Radical lit. Yeah. Basically authors with political and social commentary that challenge our norms and ideologies. And we read like Norman Mailer, Why Are We in Vietnam? And then my first ever favorite author was Jack Kerouac. You guys familiar with Jack Kerouac? On the Road?
On the Road, yeah.
Dharma Bums, two classics. So in college, I wanted to travel everywhere. I wanted to kind of live the Jack Kerouac lifestyle and go out and travel and meet characters and just go and mad crazy. If you have never read it, it's a quick read and it's a good read. But other ones, a bunch of books in college, like Voltaire's Candide. That's a good one. Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just talk about Voltaire as one of your favorites?
Yeah.
Dude,
Candide,
who is this
the best
guy?
of all possible worlds.
Who the hell are
Dr.
you?
Pangloss. It's a good book. It's a quick read. It's like real skinny book. You can read it in 2 hours. Yeah.
I just feel really dumb right now, man.
Voltaire makes me think of Swingers.
Yeah.
When the waitress calls him Voltaire because he's
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But then after college, I didn't read. Like I got a job. I didn't really read anything. So post college, I had like 2 books that I read. One was Youth in Revolt by C.D. Payne, really good. And then The Road by Cormac McCarthy. If you ever like to read like apocalyptical end of days kind of book, that one was fun. But then, lately it's just been, I've started getting back into it, and Stephen King's kind of got me hooked again. So Yeah. Am I the smartest person in the room? Probably.
Wow. I mean, dude, if it's based on books and book knowledge and books you've read, you are, at least in this room, because well, I haven't
and
heard
Shakespeare was one of my favorite classes.
Strike me as
if you have a good
either, so
if you have a good professor,
Shakespeare
is awesome. He's
yeah.
brilliant. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw this in our show notes prep, I had a slight panic, this category, because I much like Pat, my parents were big readers. I should say my mom is a huge reader. And so growing up, she used to tell my sister and I that during the summers, if we read, I think it was like 10 books, she would get us something. And like, I remember getting this clock radio when I was a kid for reading my books. That was just the coolest thing ever. It had a tape cassette that you could set to wake you up on like an alarm. I mean, it was just like, whoa, this is the coolest thing ever. But I loved reading. Read all the time, voracious really as a kid. Loved reading books about like sports, and whether it was nonfiction or there was I can't even remember the author now. I was trying to think of it and I couldn't come up with it, but I was like going to the library at Lake Forest Park Elementary and I just read all of this guy's stories that were just easy reads about like some football guy that struggles and then they win the championship, right? That type of book. But it's hard because when I got older, I stopped reading 100%, except unless it's like ESPN.com or something that's sports related. I mean, internet, right? Internet stuff. So anyway, this category had me a little freaked out because I honestly couldn't even tell you the last book I read. And then I thought about it and I was like, it was on a Kindle and I read Boys in the Boat, which was the story about the UW rowing team. Great book.
Oh, yeah.
And turned into a movie, but the book was fantastic. Just thinking back to like classics that I love though, more high school era and into college, I guess. I never took radical lit, but I did take some lit classes. To Kill a Mockingbird, great classic.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Loved Charlotte's Web as a kid. Great sad story. I don't know if you guys have read Charlotte's Web, but Lord of the Flies, absolutely great book. Animal Farm. So yeah, some really good books. I love Grisham. Pat mentioned him. Those are just easy reads. I remember a girlfriend of mine in college made fun of me for loving Grisham books because she just said I was dumb because I liked Grisham.
I think most people think that, like if you lead with Grisham's my favorite, they probably think that, but he's freaking entertaining.
It's just entertaining.
It's just fun.
Easy reads and fun, and love those. And then just two more that I'll highlight. Into Thin Air, John Krakauer. It was the story of his
read it.
His Everest ascent. Yeah, awesome. And then Guns, Germs, and Steel. I don't know if you guys ever read that. I read it at UW. It's a history book based on guns and germs and war.
Krakauer did also another one. I think it was like Into the Wild or something. Is it Into the Wild?
Great book. Yeah. Great book about this kid McCandless who goes up into Alaska and ends up finding this abandoned school bus and lives up there. Ends up passing away.
They made the movie.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you guys know David McCullough. He's a historian. He wrote the book John Adams. Honestly, the best book I've ever read. It was, that guy's life was fascinating. And just the time period for the United States and everything that he did, incredible. And David McCullough's written a ton of good nonfiction books. So how about you, Bierman?
All right. So yeah, for me, guys, so I love John Grisham books. I've read most of them. I went through a big reading phase right after college and read most of them. I would say another kind of famous pop culture-y, recent author that I really like is James Patterson. Don't know if you read any of his books. I haven't read nearly as many of his as I have Grisham, but Kiss the Girls was one of the most intense, enjoyable books I've read for sure. That was a long time ago, but I remember liking that one. In terms of books I read in school that I liked, as I was thinking back on this, I noticed kind of a strange theme, and I think you'll notice that too. So I'm going to start with Jack London books. Did you guys ever have to read Call of the Wild?
Call of the Wild.
So I mean, Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
great
you
book.
got Alaska, Dog, Snow, the Klondike Gold Rush. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
lot to love there. I don't remember White Fang as much, although I
Yeah.
remember reading it, but I do remember loving Call of the Wild, and Buck was the dog, and loyalty between him and his owner, and Buck's just a complete badass. It was just, I really enjoyed that book. And then the other book that always stuck with me was a book called Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh, great book.
In that, I realized I must have had a soft spot for any book about dogs and their loyalty toward human owners, because that one's pretty similar, except it's about two coonhounds in the Ozarks who help a little boy hunt and earn money for his family so they can move eventually to a city to get him better educated. So just another great book that I remember really loving to read, even though I was forced to read it. I think that one was probably middle school. So, but yeah, I'm just not a big book reader. I did like John Feinstein books, like sports books.
Good
as
Walk
a kid,
Spoiled.
Season on the Brink, A Good Walk Spoiled. Yeah,
Yeah.
those as well. But in terms of fiction, those are the ones that jump out at me. Now, there are some I didn't like. So let's talk a little bit about that. Books you've read that you didn't like. And I'm guessing many of these might come from our school days where we were forced to read them. But what about you, Pat? Why don't you start us off?
You know, my wife is a big reader too, and she tries to pass these books on to me. And she reads these books; they're all basically the same. It's kind of a whodunit thriller book, like The Baby's Gone Missing, or something like that. And although they are generally entertaining and a quick read, they are all a similar formula. And rarely is there creative prose that moves you and makes you feel a deeper connection to the world. It's just all pretty vanilla. Like Jodi Picoult, she reads a lot of Jodi Picoult books, and is one of her favorites. But the one book that I wouldn't say I dislike, but it's a really tough read, is Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. Now, it's supposed to be hailed as like the greatest writing of our generation. And while some parts are incredibly well written, he has footnotes that are like 2 pages long. So you'll be reading, and all of a sudden it'll be like, you'll see a little footnote. So then you got to go back to the footnotes, and the footnotes are 2 pages, and it's 2 long footnote pages about nothing, like not Seinfeld funny, nothing. Like it'll be like intricate details into hydrolysis or what a tennis ball hopper is. And because it takes place at a tennis academy, and it's like, anyway, it's detailed to the point of exhaustion. And this guy ended up committing suicide.
Oh, wow.
And you can see why when you read this book, because it's just some of it's so dark and cold, but he's also super clever and almost like a genius when he just can't get out of his own head. But I could not finish this book. It's very dense. It's really hard to read. So I challenge any of our listeners, if they can read it, and if they can read it and give me a book report by April, I'll take them to Vegas. There's no way you're gonna finish this book. There's no way.
Wow, that is an interesting challenge. All right.
Good luck.
That must be a really bad book if you feel that confident that nobody's.
It's so hard to read. It's such a hard read. It's almost like he's trying to be too brilliant. It's not fun. It's not. No. It's almost work to chew through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Well, for me, The Odyssey by Homer. I don't remember the class in high school, but it just, any book. This is gonna say kind of I'm a dumbass, but any book that I have to that I have to think that much just to chew through it, I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy it. And in college, I don't remember the authors necessarily, but I took a course on pragmatism, and it was just like, this sucks. Like, there's nothing enjoyable about reading this stuff and then breaking it down like you're a film critic or something. And anyway, so the Odyssey was sort of that. I just never got into the Iliad, the gods, like all of the different pieces as Homer tries to make his way through. Anyway, it didn't grab me. I will also say, and Pat brought up Shakespeare, I can appreciate Shakespeare because of Shakespeare's he's brilliant and his writing was brilliant. But that's another one where just the language barrier of
You
trying to
have
get
to
through it.
you have to have a good professor to walk you through
Yeah,
it. Otherwise,
right.
you're
I
just
need
like, I have
somebody.
no idea what's going on. Yep, you got to have someone guide you through that one.
Yeah, you need your guide. You need like your literature Sherpa to
Yeah.
like take you through the story. So anyway, so that was another one that just was not my fave. How about you, Bierman?
Yeah, so I have 3 that I just cannot stand, and one of them, Bill, we have a little disagreement. You mentioned
Oh,
this one
okay,
as one of
nice.
your favorites, so we'll start with that one. Lord of the Flies, guys. Are
Oh,
you
what?
kidding me?
Oh, you didn't
It's
like it? I
what?
liked
Oh
Lord
my
of the
god.
Flies.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
book about
I
a
had to
group
read
of
that in
kids
school too.
marooned on a deserted island. One of the kids is a power-hungry brat who goes insane. And for good measure, they have to throw in a fat kid named Piggy, who is bullied and
Piggy. Yeah.
ultimately killed by a boulder being pushed on him.
yeah, the conch.
Yuck. I mean,
Yeah.
just depressing and sucky. No thanks. And then secondly, we'll go with another classic that a lot of people seem to love, but A Catcher in the Rye, guys. A kid
Mm.
who he uses the F word like nonstop, talks about wanting to have sex with several girls, including a prostitute. He gets into a fight with a pimp. He really has no ambition whatsoever. He's expelled from a rich, fancy boarding school called Pensy Prep, and he's eventually put into a sanatorium. Like, great inspirational book, public education system. Thank you. Please let me be more like Holden Caulfield. And then finally, I'll throw out probably the most depressing of the 3, The Great Gatsby. I mean, you got love triangles, loveless
Gatsby.
marriages,
Me too.
affairs
So good.
galore, spousal abuse, manslaughter by car, homicide, suicide, and the final realization by the main character that some Midwesterners just aren't cut out for New York living. Yeah, no shit. If that's what New York was like in the 1920s, I wouldn't want to live there either. Oh, man.
That's good.
Those are 3 good books, Bierman. Those are 3 good books.
If
I
by
like 2 of
good
your
you mean
hates.
awful, then I would agree.
Oh
Nice.
man,
Yeah,
Lord of the
did
Flies is one
not
of my
like
favorite great
Yeah.
movies too.
We should
Unbelievable.
start a book club, guys. Let's do
Yeah,
book
yeah,
club.
that's true.
Do not get me
Wait.
started on
I
book
meant
clubs.
I
We will
meant to say
talk
comic book club. Comic book club. We'll read comics
we
and
we
discuss
will
them.
talk about book clubs at some point in the future. I don't have the energy right now to get started on book
No.
clubs. My wife is in one, and they are just I don't get them. So that
Yeah.
will be a topic for another day. All right, guys. Well, thank you. I feel much dumber, Pat. Appreciate that. Let's get into the rest of the show now. Just what we'll do, nailed it for week 10, and we'll share our hot takes. Then it's Stone Cold Locks time, where 3 of us had winning weeks, and overall we went 6-3, so that's nice. And finally, we'll wrap up the show with the top 5 that is sports focused, and I can't wait to just do it. See what I did there? And of course, we'll have plenty of fun and shenanigans along the way, including Pat finally telling us which one was Hall and which one was Oates. Okay, gentlemen, it is time for the segment Sleeping America. It is time for Nailed It. We are
Daryl
back
Hall was
for-
the lead singer. John Oates was the guy with the stash, and he just played guitar.
Yeah, the stash. Yeah, nice.
Oates was the guy with the stash. Okay. And now
Yeah.
they hate each other, I think. All right. Well, we'll get into, we're going to get into Nailed It here in just a second. I'll hand it over to Bill. But first, just want to remind everybody, we do have a listener competition every week. I'm very impressed with the number of people that are joining, but we'd still love to have more of you join. And it's so easy. Just go to cmansports.com for more information on how to enter. Our week 9 winner was Lisa Yashari. She's the second woman to qualify for the Super Bowl finale. So that's exciting. And congrats to Lisa. For our updated standings, look at Pat bringing it strong last week. He had 3 points. Bill, you had 2, and I had 1. So that means Bill's got 22 points, Pat has 21, and Eric has 20. So still very close. All right, Bill, what do you got for us?
It was the soccer one. It was the soccer one. I think I picked high scoring soccer, right? Yeah.
All right. So let's get into episode 65, nailed it questions. Look, this first one, Bierman was the inspiration for this question. He brought it up in the
Oh,
last pod.
there you go.
I don't know if you guys were listening or watching or remember this, but the 112th Grey Cup is this Sunday.
Oh, yes. All
The
right. Canadian
Saskatchewan,
football.
the
Oh,
Saskatchewan Rough
Saskatchewan, yeah.
Riders.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
it's
Rough
their first
Riders.
Grey Cup. Yeah, the first Grey Cup appearance since 2013. They face the
Ooh.
Montreal Alouettes, led
Ooh.
by Davis
Legendary.
Alexander, quarterback. He's 13-0 career as a CFL starter. Pretty impressive,
Damn.
right? As a
Davis
rookie.
Alexander.
Yeah. The Rough Riders are favored by 2.5. The over-under is 48.5. I did add this little tidbit. The weather is calling for 36 degrees and sun. Okay, so it's not going to be played in a snowstorm. How many total points will be scored in this one? 48.5 was the over-under, just to give you that key. High scoring, 57. Sanders, 40. Bierman, higher scoring, 61. Okay.
Yeah,
I just
that's
need a
close.
defensive battle. The Grey
Yeah.
Cup, you guys don't realize this. The Grey Cup is defensive battle every year.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
I
Sure.
don't know if I've ever watched a Grey Cup in my life. Okay. All right. Question number 2. Bryant Denny Stadium, Tuscaloosa, host number 12 Sooners and their beloved number 4 Tide this week. I think game of the week in college football. Johnny
Yeah.
Mateer getting healthier. I think his legs probably could be the X factor in this game. Ty Simpson for the Tide averages only 9.6 yards per game rushing. Mateer is at 38 yards per game rushing. What will the difference be in these two starting quarterbacks' rushing yards? Johnny Mateer, 38 yards per game, but getting healthier. Ty Simpson, 9.6. Clet, 46. Bierman, 7. Okay. I like the low ball. Trying to get
He
that
thinks
low ball point.
Bama's going to stuff him.
Yeah. Sanders,
I do.
55.
Yeah.
Sanders,
So do
55.
I, but
All right. Well, I'm hoping Mateer gets loose for like a couple long ones, I guess, because I'm way high compared to you guys. Okay. This is kind of exciting. Our first NCAA hoops question.
Yes.
I mean, hoops is back,
Love
which
it.
is fun.
I have
Saturday,
already watched more college basketball. I've watched like 4 or 5 games already. I don't know. I'm just so into it this year, like early. Normally I get
Yeah.
into it, but like
Yeah,
earlier than March
late.
Madness. I'm loving it. I watched some of the Kentucky Louisville game last night, and
That was
Michigan.
I didn't
Michigan
watch it,
had
but
a
that was a
huge
good
lead.
game, huh?
Yeah, and I had Kentucky winning, but they
shoot.
lost.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, the Michigan was up by a ton, then Wake Forest came back, they won it, but Michigan won in overtime. Yeah, it was
Nice.
Yeah.
Is Michigan going to be good this year?
Yeah, they got a 7'3" guy, like giant. I cannot think of his name. It's like a foreign name, so it's just not sticking in my head. He was good. He's changed.
Didn't they have
Yeah,
that
they're gonna be
German
good.
guy who was
They're
really
top
tall
10
a couple
right now,
years
I
ago?
think.
Nice.
They had some really tall German dude a couple
Franz
years ago, right?
Wagner?
Franz,
You're
yeah,
talking about
Wagner.
Franz
Yeah.
Wagner. They
Yeah,
had
he's
that
done-
guy, Danny Wolf, too, who got drafted. I really
Yeah.
liked him as a player.
Yeah.
Is Minnesota going to be any good, Pat? Do you know?
We got like a new coach, but we won the first couple games last I checked, but
Nice.
Minnesota hasn't been competitive in hoops in years.
Since like Bobby Jackson.
Yes. Oh, I love Bobby. I got a sweet picture of Bobby Jackson. Yeah. I was at a
Nice.
little party, a little shindig with Bobby Jackson, and he photobombed us.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's awesome.
Was
You'll
that
have to try to find that pic. Try to find that pic.
Clem Haskins was their head coach?
Clem Haskins.
No,
good call.
it
Yeah.
would have been.
No, it was
it was the other guy who was a Hall of Famer though.
Tubby. No, not Tubby Smith.
Tubby Smith, right? Wasn't it? Tubby Smith?
Tubby Smith came after. I think it was Clem. I think it was Clem Haskins.
Nice, Paul Bierman.
Yeah, baby, gotta love me some
Golden
Clem.
Gophers basketball trivia. Bierman is on it. That's fantastic. All right, nailed it. Question number 3. NCAA hoops. Saturday, 11:15. Number 3 UConn faces number 7 BYU at TD Garden in Boston. I'm going to give you a few stats. Okay, this is just for information. Oh, actually, the question, I will give you that first, and then I'll give you some stats. How many points will the leading scorer get in this basketball game? Okay, so the question's pretty simple. How many points will the leading scorer have? Doesn't matter the team, just the leading scorer. Taurus Reed, 20 points per game. Solo Ball, 16. Alex Caravan, 16 for UConn. AJ Bybonsa, I think I'm saying his name right, 19 points per game. And Richie Saunders, 17.5 for BYU. So that gives you the range of so far through the season. Total points leading scorer in the game. Klett, 20. Sanders, 27. Bierman, 31. Damn it, Bierman. I thought I was going to be at the high end. You're just going to the extremes this week. I love it. Okay.
I'm feeling a little extreme today. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Number 4, the Butterfield Bermuda Championship is the PGA tournament this week. Last year, Rafael Campos was the champion at minus 19. He finished with 23 birdies or better. How many birdies or better will the 2025 champion have? Okay, so he finished at minus 19. He had 23 birdies or better. How many birdies or better will the 2025 champion? Klett, 19. Bierman, 24. Sanders, 21. Damn it. Sandwiched again. All right, question number 5. Game of the week in the NFL has to be 7-2 Seattle Seahawks, 7-2 Los Angeles Rams. Check this out, you guys. Matthew Stafford is on such a roll right now. 3 straight games, 4 or more touchdowns, 0 interceptions. In fact, he has 20 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions in his last 6 games. The Seahawks have allowed 13 touchdowns in 9 games, but it would be just way too easy to guess how many passing touchdowns Stafford will throw for. So I'm adding in the Seahawks defense has 32 sacks in 9 games, or 3.5 sacks per game. What will be the combined Stafford passing touchdowns and Seahawks sacks? Stafford passing touchdowns plus Seahawks sacks.
Matt Stafford's unbelievable. He
Stud.
needs more. He needs more. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he is.
Oh my gosh. I hope the Seahawks get 7,000 sacks. Klett, 8. Sanders, 7. Bierman, 6. Oh, you guys, brutal. Just brutal.
Just keep squeezing.
Bill,
Just
squeezing.
brutal.
I think, did you finish in the middle on every single one?
It seemed like it. No, well, there was one that I
Pretty
went
close.
way at the high end. Mateer rushing yards
you
and Ty
did.
Simpson
Yeah.
rushing yards. But anyway, hopefully those are good questions. Thanks to everybody for playing.
All right, boys. Nice job. Well, it is time to get into hot takes. Yes, that's right. Sandman Sports Hot Takes brought to you by Double Take Salsa. Double Take is salsa done right. Crafted in small batches with premium ingredients, it's built on a flavor-first philosophy that lets the spice shine without overpowering. You get a punch of bold flavor first, then the heat sneaks in and earns that famous name of Double Take. If you're looking for the best salsa experience, start here. Visit doubletakesalsa.com and check them out on Facebook and Instagram. All right, Pat, what do you got? It is hot take time.
Hot takes. Hot takes times. All right, hot takes. Got to watch some college football. We are starting to get a clearer picture of the playoffs. I was super impressed with the run game of Oregon last week in the rain against Iowa. This guy's look good. Jair Hill, I think it's pronounced, and then Noah Whittington. Running backs for Oregon are good. They remind me of Sonic and Knuckles from Detroit. They hit you with 2 backs. Oregon's losing wide receivers, but so we'll see. But I feel like they could make a run. Them, Ohio State, and then Texas Tech and A&M both look good. Those are kind of my 4 teams to beat. Otherwise, maybe Notre Dame, Alabama, but we're starting to get a clear picture of that.
I mean, you just have
final
no
12
love.
and
you have no love for Indiana, do you?
No, I think they're paper tiger, just like last year. It's just like it's not gonna happen. It'll never happen.
You and I
right?
really
so get
disagree
it through your head.
It's happening.
They're gonna go play a real team, and they're gonna
you want to make a bet?
smoked.
You want to make a bet right now?
Here we go.
I will bet Final Four. I will bet they make the Final Four.
Okay, I will bet they do not make the Final Four. I'm in.
All right, what
on
are we
that.
betting?
What's the wager?
Here
The
we go. So
wager.
I say we bet something in Vegas. We already have our dinner, like me and the dinner's part of nailed it. The two losers have to pay for a nice dinner for the winner and their spouse.
The loser has to hand out Sandman Sports flyers to the general public as they come by. Almost like, you remember when they used to like,
Dude.
yeah,
They're still doing it. I was just
They're
down
still
there.
doing it?
They're
Oh,
still
God.
totally still doing it.
They're back. They're back.
I mean, so yeah, just pass up Sandman Sports. Yeah, for an hour
That
in the
would
heat,
be
in the like in middle of day,
gosh.
like noon heat.
I'm not sure I feel confident enough in my Hoosiers to take that bet. I would much rather have money that I could lose.
All right, we'll figure it out. We'll hash through
We'll
it.
figure
but-
it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
I like this.
Other
I
than
like
that,
the side action.
Congrats to Soundgarden on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just want to throw
Nice.
that in there.
Didn't hear
The
that.
Seattle
awesome.
Sounders. The Seattle Sounders should change their name to the
Mm.
Seattle Soundgardens.
Mm.
I believe. Rusty Cage, still just a classic. But my
Black Hole
main
Sun.
my main beef this week, and Eric, you know this, is YouTube TV. I mean, I don't even think
so
they're
bad,
gonna.
dude.
I don't even think they're gonna air the Alouettes Canadian Football League final. They-
so bad.
Look,
dude.
why are they doing this shit? I can't watch ESPN, and it's starting to get to the point where I might cancel my subscription and join a book club. This is look, these wealthy fuckknuckles are starting to come to they're struggling to come to terms and agree on big dollar amounts. Look, if it's not fixed soon, it's kind of like the government shutdown. I might move to Canada and become an Alouettes fan. We
Not a
we
Rough
live in
Rider.
a petty world, right? Did they have to block out ESPN while they come to terms on how to divide up their millions? Like I'm already feeling like I'm getting nickel and dime to death by these subscriptions. I think I started YouTube TV with full local sports, so I don't even get local sports anymore. I'm come to terms with that over time. But I started with full local sports, full sports package, and maybe paying $50 a month. Now I have no local sports, no ESPN, and my bill kind of sneaks up somehow to $80 a month when you're not looking. Know what I mean?
Brutal.
I don't know. Do you guys ever get this one too? I do this with like my Prime Video where I'll see I know it's been there. It's on the queue like of movies you can watch. And then someday, maybe like a month down the way, you're like, "Oh, we should watch this movie." And as soon as we go to search for it, it's like, "Well, you can watch that movie if you rent it for $3.99." It's like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure I saw that one for free. Is it just because I'm searching for it now and you know I want it now that it's all of a sudden it costs? They're sneaky. They're sneaky. And
Guaranteed.
it's just
Sounds like
they're
a
chipping away at my
conspiracy
soul
theory.
little by little. There's an evil in this world and it's starting to chip away little by little.
So,
just throwing small
I
pebbles.
don't-
Throwing small pebbles.
Paper
Yeah,
cuts.
I don't disagree with you on the
Yeah,
YouTube TV thing.
paper
You and I
cuts.
have talked. You and I have talked about it's bullshit. I will just say for those listeners who might be in a similar boat, one thing that I've done, it doesn't make me feel a lot better, but there have been a few nights and a few days, and I will do it again this Saturday, where you can go to Sling TV and you can buy a 1-day pass for $4.99, and we'll give you all ESPN stuff. So I've purchased that a few times and that works, and it's $5. But you know, I'm not going to be doing that long term. It's becoming a big problem. I don't know. I like YouTube TV. Like I like everything else about
Right.
it, but they need to get it fixed. And I can't believe it's gone on this.
Stupid.
I have
Anyway.
Xfinity.
Lucky.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, but you pay an arm and a leg. I mean, our
Yeah.
Xfinity bill is $260 a month.
Oh,
It's
wow.
crazy. Yeah.
That's
So
a lot.
yeah, nuts. Bob Iger was on the Manning cast. I don't know if you guys. I guess maybe you didn't watch that.
Can't.
I mean, they were talking a little bit about it should be fixed soon, but silly. My hot takes, guys, starts off with a bit of a sad one. Lenny Wilkens, rest in peace.
Yeah, he's a good
88,
yeah.
88 years old. Seattle legend, absolute Seattle legend. One of the few people that's inducted in the Hall of Fame as both a player and as a coach. First and only NBA championship, 1979. I was a little young to remember it, but I remember the parade. And then I also remember that my dad bought me this commemorative book. and I must have worn out the pages of that book looking through it. Every player, a page on every player, page on Lenny. Anyway, just one of those cool first Seattle sports memories for me. And Lenny was just a legend. He retired as the winningest and the losingest NBA head coach
Oh, I
in
remember.
history,
Yeah,
which is
it's
crazy.
a good trivia question. Yeah.
Yeah, he's since been passed. I think he's third, if I remember hearing that right or reading that right, on the wins list. But one of the things about Lenny, you guys, is obviously on the sports scene a legend, but the guy was even more importantly a legend in the community of Seattle, and just did so much over the past 40 years of me remembering for people in need in the city of Seattle, the inner cities, growing basketball and sport, but also just things outside of sport. And boy, he will be missed. There's a statue of him outside of Climate Pledge Arena. Glad that got done, like while he was still around to see that. Rest in peace, Lenny. Boy, Pat had kind of brought this up, I think, with college football in his list. Huskies, boy, one of the most painful losses of my lifetime.
Badgers,
That was
unbelievable.
dude. What the hell?
You guys, this one of the most incredible
At least
statistics.
you're under hit.
Yeah, I mean the under was a lock from the get-go. But both teams scored one touchdown in the game, and both times they got the ball on a turnover inside their opponent's 10-yard line. That's how bad the offenses were in this football game. The leading passer for Wisconsin was their punter. He threw
on
a fake punt, one reception for 24 yards, I think it was. And he was their leading passer. And they beat the Huskies. I mean, absolute just brutal loss when all of us were starting to feel like, wow, this team is actually we could be 10-2 and play in Oregon.
Watch the end of that game. It was brutal. And the other brutal thing was the cameraman kept showing all these dudes up in the student section with their shirts off, dancing around. I was like, how many times do I got to sit here and look at these yahoos with their shirts off? Like, it's freezing and I'm not wearing a shirt. Look at me. Like, come on.
First of all, Camp Randall was like,
guys.
Camp Randall was empty. I mean, because they'd lost 6 games in a row. And then they're terrible. Those guys up there, that was like, I don't know, Pat, if you were watching the whole game, but that started with 2 guys that were up there.
Okay.
And then they kept showing it because more and more people kept going up to join these guys as it was snowing, and anyway. But last thing I'll say on this game, just because it was just brutal, is I will give one little bit of credit to Wisconsin in terms of, you guys know these football games that your teams have played in where the entire game you just cannot get out of the way in terms of the field position, right? Every single time the Huskies started a drive, it was inside the 10-yard line. And it was just one of those games where you just never could get anything going. And boy, absolutely brutal. So enough said about that one. Really painful. So many of my friends out here are calling for Jed Fish's head. Fine, go to Florida, go wherever. I mean, we're horrible on the road.
It was one loss. I mean, they're still like 6-3, and like, I mean, they're.
It's just that
still,
the Huskies.
It was a loss to Wisconsin. Like,
it was a bad loss. It was a bad loss.
Season.
Guess what Indiana is favored by against Wisconsin?
It's one of my best bets.
30. It's like 31.
Indiana no, it's not one of the 3, but it's one of my 5 on my article. Indiana minus 29.5. Wisconsin is they're the 3rd worst offense in the nation, and they are by far the worst Power 4. They cannot move the ball. They are terrible. I wrote in my article, they'll be lucky to score 10 points. They'll be lucky to score a point.
Honestly. Point. No
honestly.
Points. Yeah.
I think they're 30-point underdogs, and the over-under is 40. Or 42, 3, somewhere low 40s. Anyway, okay, enough about that. But then it even gets worse for my third hot take, which is the Sounders. And you guys know how much I love soccer, and you don't give a shit, and I totally get it, but you have to just let me vent for 2 seconds. This is against Pat's Minnesota Loons. They won both games out of the 3 in penalties, okay, which I hate penalty kicks with a passion. The Sounders were up a man. The Minnesota guy headbutts one of the Sounders in the first half.
Yeah.
Sent off. Selfish play, horrible horrible decision by that guy. Sounders are ahead 2-0. The Loons down a man, go up 3-2, which is just
What?
embarrassing. Yeah, embarrassing to start. And
It's
then
not like hockey down a man though. It's you can overcome down a man in soccer, can't you? Like it's not
it's
as
a little
as
it's
penal.
you're right.
It's not as penal as like a hockey
But think
one.
about the amount of ground you have to cover on a soccer field, and you have one less person to do it.
Yeah,
You should
that
be worn
it
down
seems
over
like a big
time,
disadvantage. Yeah.
and the Sounders had so many chances to score, hit the post, hit the crossbar, had chances, just didn't get it done. Anyway, they did tie the game with 2 or 3 minutes left in the game, and then it goes to penalties. And this is the part that will eat at my soul for the rest of my days on this earth, is that the Sounders had
Bill.
two. No, I'm dead serious. This is the worst Sounders loss of my lifetime. In penalties, you guys understand how it works, right? You get 5 kicks and 5 kicks. If you're tied after 5, it goes to sudden death. So 6th kick, 7th kick, whatever. Minnesota was kicking first and missed their 6th kick, meaning the Sounders, all they had to do was make, game's over. They win the series, move on. Miss. Loon's 7th kick, miss. Sounders, another chance, miss.
Ooh.
And you cannot be that unclutch if you're trying. In soccer with a penalty kick, it's not
That's
easy.
pretty brutal.
But you had 2 chances to win the series and you missed both. Then their goalkeeper steps up to take the 8th kick, hits his, and our goalkeeper, who has never missed a penalty in his professional career, rockets one off the crossbar, out. So that was the sequence that I witnessed, was up a man, down 2 or up 2 goals, blow that, come back, give yourself hope, go into the penalty kicks, and then completely fall apart for the second time in the series. I can't do it. I'm so bitter and still pissed. I will end my hot takes, though, with a positive note in the soccer realm. Last night, Mount Si High School girls went to Camas, 12 seeds against the 5 seeds, won 1-0. Beautiful soccer, advancing to round 2 in the state tournament. Go Mount Si
Nice.
Wildcats.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Mount Si.
Yeah.
Although
I tell you what, in fall soccer, guys, when you get a night like last night, when it was 50 degrees and beautiful
perfect.
sunshine and
Yeah.
it was just, you can't beat it. So anyway,
I used
That's
to
awesome.
play
No,
fall
congrats
soccer.
to-
I just never
congrats
like
to those
watching
girls.
soccer.
thanks. Yeah, they played their asses off last night. It was really a fun game. And check this out. Today, after this pod and a couple meetings, I'm driving to Spokane, Washington, which is a 5-hour drive, to scout the teams that we might play
Oh wow.
in Spokane on Saturday. So
Damn.
that's dedication. And go
Jeez, that
Wildcats.
is, man. Well, good luck. Seriously, that's awesome. Bill.
Thanks.
Congrats.
All right.
That's really cool. All right, guys, I got a couple. So, boys, I think you both know that one of my favorite players of all time is Barry Sanders. Big reason for that was his humility. He'd break 5 tackles, score from 40 yards out, and simply hand the ball to the ref, jog back to the sideline. No dancing, no pointing to the crowd, no me first, just pure class. A couple weeks ago, I'm watching the Michigan versus Michigan State game. Michigan is up 10-0. Spartans at the time are 3-4. They're now 3-6 and 0-6 in conference, by the way. Anyway, their quarterback scores a touchdown. They're down. And he starts dancing like he just won the Super Bowl. Now, granted, I hate Sparty anyway, but this just drove me nuts. Why do so many athletes have to exhibit that type of just over-the-top bravado at all times, especially when your freaking team is losing? Like, you should be benched immediately if you ever do that. It drives me nuts to see somebody celebrate when our teams lose. I see people do a sack when they're down by 30 points and they're doing a dance like it's the best thing ever. I don't get it. But frankly, I think there's one man that we can largely give gratitude to for this seismic shift in how football players embrace this cocky, arrogant, I'm the greatest mindset. And for me, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts if you disagree. And you could argue Muhammad Ali really started the trend overall.
Yeah.
But from a college football standpoint, I think Deion Primetime Sanders is where it all started. And it's one reason why I've just never been a big fan of him. And it's even though he played for the Reds in the 90s. And this is all to say, I am loving seeing Colorado just blow up and just falling apart this year. They're 3-7 overall. They're 1-6 in the Big 12. They're definitely not going bowling this season. 3 weeks ago, they lost to Utah 53-7, which is the worst loss of Deion's time there. Utah outgained them 587 to 140, and at one point, Colorado had negative 18 yards late in the game. 2 weeks ago, they lost 52-17 to Arizona, and last week they lost to a bad West Virginia team. And all of this just makes me smile. It's not about hating Deion personally, and I really do think about him and his health, and I hope he's okay there. I respect the guy's career and his athleticism, but I'm just so tired of these athletes and their lack of humility, and it's all about me, and look at me and how great I am. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And maybe I sound old school, and honestly, I hope I do. There's something to be said for playing the game the right way. Barry never needed a dance. He let his play do the talking. I think Colorado could maybe use a little bit more of that right now. It starts with their coach, maybe a little less prime time and a little more game time, coach. All right, number 2. Guys, did you see what USC did on Saturday in their game against Northwestern? On 4th down, they put number 80 into the game to line up as their punter, which is their punter's number. Only problem is the guy wearing number 80 was actually their third-string quarterback, Sam Heward, who switched jerseys with their actual punter in order to trick Northwestern. And it worked. Heward threw a perfect pass, and the 4th down conversion was successful.
Is that legal?
It is legal. Some people are losing their mind saying it is cheating, but it is technically not against the rules, not yet at least, which makes it completely
switch jersey
legal.
Numbers with anyone?
Yes.
It will be.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was completely legal and fine. And you know what? I absolutely love that happened. Like the tush push. Take advantage of the rules as much as you can. If it helps you win the game, why would you not do that? I think it's a brilliant move by Lincoln Riley for thinking that. Maybe it's not the right rule and it should be changed, but it was legal on Saturday, and Riley thought of it and executed it so well. The other thing I will say about this, why should it really matter? Guys, anybody can run a fake punt at any time, whether the punter is a real punter or a backup quarterback. It doesn't matter. They can pass, they can run, whatever.
If I'm a coach
you're the
watching
defense,
them
ready.
send their team in and I see number 80, I'm thinking, okay, this is a punt, and I send my defense out. It's like, you can't be like the Trojan horse and like be like, surprise.
Yes,
Oh, I see what you did there, Pat. I see what you did.
See what you did.
Yeah. It's trickery. And
Well done.
Here's an idea. As a defense, just frickin' be ready no matter who's back there. Be ready for a fake punt.
He did spin a perfect pass.
He did. And
Heward's our Seattle Legends, UW guys.
Yeah.
Sam Heward went to UW to be our next great quarterback, and then has transferred. And so everyone up here is kind of like, gosh, cool that he made that great play. But I don't know, Bierman. It does feel a little Bush League.
Oh, God, I love it.
It's a little Bush League.
Didn't change the rule. rule.
And as far as celebrations,
I agree with the rule. I'm just saying it was
not against the rules.
Disallowed.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. If you have a no-hitter going into the 8th and it's the 9th, and then a guy lays down a bunt, there's nothing against the rules. You can bunt. Be ready for the bunt. But it still feels Bush League. Like that's similar to this, I think, in that it's not against the rules, but the whole going through it's very Lincoln Riley.
That example, I think, depends. If they're trying to bunt to like still win the game and that's how they get on base, then there's nothing wrong with it. If they think that gives them the best chance. There was a 4th down. They're trying to do a fake punt. I
hear you. I'm not totally against it. To be honest, I more tend to lean towards you. It's within the rules, and just be ready to stop the fake punt. But it does feel a little bit. To me, the bigger issue is Lincoln Riley's a weasel, and that's kind of where I think people are like, God, this guy, here he goes again.
I personally think the rule should be changed. Honestly, like that, it does feel weird that is allowed, but as long as it's allowed, I hope more teams do it.
Yeah. What about
Michigan
the similar play is when they have a guy stand right next to the sideline and then they
Oh,
throw
yeah.
that ball
Yeah.
out there
Oh,
to him, and it's
yeah.
kind of like
We used
I
to do
mean,
that in flag football, dude. That was a great
yeah.
strategy.
Oh, we totally do that. Yeah. Let him blend in over here.
Nice.
Bierman, stand right here. Stand right here. Anyway,
I don't.
Oh, man.
Anyway, but back to your celebration. Like, I don't mind a kid celebrating if he gets in the end zone, even if he's down. They work hard all week. They might not be the best team in the world and they're getting smoked, but you work hard. You want to get in the end zone. Go ahead and celebrate a little bit. But the team defensive celebrations,
Oh, they're getting mad.
drive me
They're getting
crazy. Like, we're all the guys
Running
run
to
down
the
to the
end
other end
zone.
zone, pose for the camera, and
Yeah,
like,
what
it's just
is
like,
up
come
with
on,
that
when
new
do we
trend?
start becoming like Dancing with
That's
the Stars
idiotic.
meets
what about the
football?
chains, or the you get to dunk the basketball on the sideline, the turnover chain for the whatever?
Those are fine
You
because
guys
it's
hate
on your
those too?
sideline.
Okay.
You go celebrate on
Okay.
your own sideline. That's fine, but I don't know.
I'm
I
with
don't
Bierman
like the
100% on this
choreographed.
one. Call me old school. I don't care. You call me old school. Just, we don't need to see it. Act like you've been there before. You don't.
Yeah.
I'm with Pat too, though. Have fun, celebrate, but when you're getting smoked by 30 points,
Not when you're losing. Yeah. Just yeah.
crazy.
Drives me nuts. Finally,
Yeah.
real quick, guys, I think that final drive by Francisco Mendoza and the Hoosiers and that catch by Omar Cooper Jr., best drive of the year. Really, in my opinion, it should make Mendoza the Heisman front runner as long as they keep winning. And I do think they'll make the Big Ten championship game, regardless if they win or lose that game. I think he should be the Heisman winner. He's so good, so calm. He makes his team a legit threat to win the whole freaking thing, despite what Pat thinks. He's most likely going to be a
I'd
top
wager.
5 pick in the draft. So it's good to be Francisco
catch.
Mendoza right now. Go Hoosiers.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Go.
Hey,
dude, that catch.
Bierman.
That catch was incredible. Yeah.
Bierman, I love that you brought this up because I had actually wrote this down for myself and I forgot. Gus Johnson's call on that play. Did you?
I did. We were at a bar. Me and Keith were at a bar at his golf course watching it, so we didn't hear anything. Thank God.
That was
What did he
next
say?
level Gus Johnson. He's has such little voice at the end of his touchdown, and then he goes, unbelievable. And it's like, and he has no voice left, and it's just. But have you guys ever seen these guys? I think they're called the Shepmates. So they play. You can't hear it because I have my headphones on, but I'll send it to you guys. These two dudes are so odd. They'll take any great call and they do lip sync, but they are so spot on. And then they're showing the play as well on the top of the screen, and their reactions, dude. You guys are gonna love this. And Gus Johnson, Eric, I know you hate him, but that play and Gus Johnson is chef's kiss. It is so good. So good. All right.
Eric is so disappointed.
I'm telling you.
I love your hate for Gus Johnson. It makes me laugh. It's so funny.
It is so good, Bierman. So good.
I hope to God, like, you meet him one day and you have to do that awkward. Oh, hey, big fan. Big fan, Gus.
What would be great is if one of you two runs into him someday and be like, "Hey, can you? Why don't you surprise our podcast? Join our podcast." And he just you send him the link, and he shows up, and it's like, "Accept Gus Johnson."
I wonder if he does cameos,
dude.
We should do. We should get one for Bierman where he does the unbelievable call. Unbelievable. So good.
Great. Bring him on. Gus, you're welcome on our pod anytime you want to join.
We'd love to have you, Gus.
I don't like you, and just know that before you join. All right, guys, let's get into our Stone Cold Lock segment. Overall, as I mentioned earlier, pretty good week for the trio. Bill, you went 3-0. I went 2-1. Pat, you went 1-2. Our season records are Bill's 20-12. I'm at 16, 15-2, and Pat, you're at 16-17. So we're 8 games above 500. So still looking good. Pat, again, we said it last week. I'm feeling a 9-0 week coming. We had, I think we did my part actually last year. Yeah, you did. So Pat, get us started off right now.
It was a weird week of betting for me. Like, I was 13-2 and 1 in Rollins League.
Wow.
And Ben Harper, I'm thinking, okay, I need to go for a Hail Mary here. So I do a 4-team parlay. And it's the Bills just on the money line, just to win. Was one of the ones.
So,
So I think
Oh,
I'm down to like
no.
$2 in Ben Harper,
Oh,
which
well,
I could come
that's
back.
been people are struggling in that. It's
But
no
I
one's jumping out.
do, just like you were saying earlier, all I really want every week is to hit my Stone Cold locks.
Yeah.
And I don't have any money on it. There's not, that's the one that means the most. That's the one that means the most to me. So I apologize for not.
I do put
stepping
money
up,
on all of my Stone Cold locks, but it's more about the pride than it is about the money and winning them.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
But anyway,
Totally.
so mine are, I got Minnesota against Chicago over 48.5. All right. Last time these two teams played, they put up 51 on the grass of Soldier Field. Now you get them on the turf, much faster surface. Minnesota has some good moments on D, but they are giving up a lot of points this season. Chicago is playing some high scoring games as well. I just feel like this is a good old fashioned shootout. Yeah. So give me the over 48.5.
I like it.
I like that.
I like it.
My first one is hopefully a reverse jinx, but I have the Rams over the Seahawks. Look, this just boils down to Sean McVay has the Seahawks number, and Matt Stafford is just rolling right now. Again, I lean on this all the time when it comes to these picks, but don't go against streaks. And so give me the Rams. I think that's minus 2.5 is what I saw at Bierman.
I'm showing 3.5 right
Oh, is it?
now, but that's what I pulled.
No,
I
that's
just pulled
fine.
it up.
Give it whatever it is. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I got all of mine are big lines this week. All 5 of my picks on my article and the 3 I'm doing here. And only one of them we're taking the underdog. We'll start with that one. I'm going to take South Carolina plus 19.5 at Texas A&M. Don't get me wrong. A&M is by far the better team. They will win this game. They're top 20 in both total offense and defense, and they're going to be a real threat in the CFP. It's just too many points to give the Gamecocks. They still have Lenore Sellers, one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the nation, in my opinion. Their running game is awful, but their passing game is above average. It's actually been pretty solid, and they're going to probably be down early, so they're going to get to showcase that passing game. And South Carolina has 6 losses, but listen to these losses, guys. Vandy, Mizzou, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, and LSU. LSU is the only one of those currently not ranked. So they've been battle tested. Only one of those losses has been more than the 19.5 spread that they have to cover this week. And surprisingly, that was actually against Vandy. They're coming off a bye week, so they're rested. I like the 19.5 here, so we'll take the Cox.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the Cox. Houston.
Knew that was coming.
I
thought to myself, maybe Pat's going to be mature.
There
No,
it comes.
never. That was too easy. You just set that one up for me. Number 2 for me, Houston versus Tennessee under 39.5. Look, Tennessee, last time they played, it was 28 rip Houston. We're starting to get into these divisional games where they're playing teams twice, and you've seen them. Houston, I mean, I see a similar result. Good D versus shitty offense. 28-7 exact final score bet. It's going to go under 39.5.
I love that one. I actually thought about that as well. It's just anytime the under's under 40 points, I always kind of am like, gosh. But I do like that play a lot, Pat. Houston's defense is good. Are they the best in the NFL?
Yeah. That
D'Amico
actually is
Ryans,
good because Stroud's going to be
solid.
out. Davis Mills had a good game, but he's still terrible. He's not a good.
He's still
Journeyman.
Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Still Davis
So
Mills.
that's a really good bad Pat. I like that.
Yeah. Bierman's just about to throw that into all his parlays now this week.
Well, hear me on this one, Bierman, because here's another one you can throw in. Look, I went against my Seahawks. That was a little bit of a jinx, a reverse jinx, hopefully. But here's a get-right game for the Huskies if there ever was one. Purdue coming to Montlake. Huskies are minus 16.5. Look, this team is Jekyll and Hyde. At home, DeMond Williams is a Heisman candidate. And I just look for, I mean, Purdue's 0-7 in the Big Ten. Huskies are awesome at home. They're going to just put all the demons to rest after last week's debacle in Camp Randall. So give me the Huskies big.
That was one of I just do the eyeball test and I choose about, I don't know, 15 to 20 that just pop out, and that's where I start in the research, and that was definitely one that popped out.
Yeah.
I like
Defensive
that.
coordinator Ryan Walters too. He's came from Purdue, so he knows this team backwards and forwards. I think the Huskies win this game by 30 points.
Yeah, you might be right. All right, my number 2, guys, a little similar to last week. Last week we took SMU at Boston College, giving 10.5.
Lock.
And they won by 32. Now the Eagles host a pissed off Georgia Tech team that just suffered its first loss of the season at NC State. Yellow Jackets are going to have no mercy on BC in this game. It's all the same things we said last week about the Eagles still apply. They've now lost 9 straight games. Their only win came in week 1 against 1-9 FCS Fordham. Over their last 6 losses, their average margin of defeat is now 25 points per game. The Eagles rank near the bottom nationally on both sides of the ball. They're bottom quarter in total offense, bottom 5 of all teams in the nation in total defense. They're simply put, they're one of the worst teams in Power 4 football right now. Georgia Tech still has a shot at the ACC title game, a path to the CFP. Haynes King is a great dual threat and a great leader. He's going to have his team back and ready. There is no chance that they do not cover that number.
Nice. All right, my last one, I went Cincy, Pittsburgh, round 2, old QBs again. We know what happened last time, high scoring. Cincy's getting 5.5 versus a team they already beat. It is on Heinz Field, but it's a division battle. I don't love this pick, but it seems like it needs to be a lower number than 5.5. Give me Cincy,
Agreed.
which is difficult to even say, but I just feel like that number's too high. I mean, I don't
Curious
love
to
my
hear
pick.
Bierman's
I don't
take here.
love this pick, but
I haven't gotten into NFL yet. That'll be this afternoon, so I haven't really examined it. But I would agree with you that number seems a bit high. I am Pitt. I mentioned this last week. One of my stone cold locks for NFL, I didn't mention it on here, but I wrote about, was the Chargers -3 against Steelers, and they crushed.
crushed them.
The Steelers are bottom 5 guys in both offense and defense. They're not a good team. They're winning with turnovers and being smart with penalties and all that, but they are not a good team. It is an illusion with the record. So now neither are the Bengals, but getting 5.5 points, that does seem a little odd to me.
Generous, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I like that one, Pat. 2 Pat for me, Bierman. Roll against Boston College. I mean,
dude,
yeah,
let's just keep betting against. Yeah.
Again, I just go with the streaks, right? Go with the streaks. They're terrible. They are terrible. And Georgia Tech,
terrible.
I agree. This is a 20
They're going to
high
be
20s.
mad.
Yeah. They're winning this game by 25 or more points.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. And normally the home field advantage scares me a little bit, but not with this team.
Not with Boston College. No. I would have said the same about Wisconsin though. And then look what happened.
Well, yeah. All right, we'll close with another big line, and if we're gonna say that Boston College might be the worst Power 4 team, Charlotte might be the worst team in all of college football, FBS, just period. So my pick here is Texas San Antonio -18.5 at Charlotte, and it really has much more to do about how truly awful Charlotte is than how good UTSA is. They are a 1-8 with their only win coming against FCS Monmouth back in week 3. Like Boston College, they're not just losing guys, they're getting destroyed in their 8 losses. Their average margin of defeat has been 27 points. 39-12 is the average score of a game that they've played when they've lost. They rank in the bottom 10 nationally in both offense and defense. They're a complete mess, even at home. Now, UTSA is not a great team, don't get me wrong. Their offense is above average, though. I like their offense. Their defense has some holes, but it's just not going to matter against this terrible Charlotte squad. Only one of UTSA's 5 losses has come against a team with a losing record. 3 of their losses were to A&M, North Texas, and South Florida, teams with a combined 24-3 record. And just 2 weeks ago, the Roadrunners beat 7-2 Tulane by 22 points. So they clearly have some game, and I have no problem with giving that number of points at just terrible Charlotte. Okay, boys. Well, let's get into our top 5 this week. And last week, one of us, I don't know, mentioned "just do it" as a slogan, or somehow it was referenced. Maybe it was talking about Oregon. I don't know. But it got me just thinking about the most famous and just best sports related sayings of all time. Okay. So these can be from any corner of sports. They can be from commercials to common cliches, motivational sayings, specific quotes that people said, even quotes from TV shows or movies. Really, any famous line with a connection to sports. That's what we want to talk about. Again, it can be from any sport, any time period, any format, any reason, just some sort of saying or slogan connected to sports. All right, Pat, start us off with number 5 and 4.
All right, I got hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Either
Love
Tim
that.
Notke or Kevin Durant. Perhaps they both said it at the same time. I don't know. I got a couple different I don't really trust some of these sites because I don't even know who the heck Tim Notke is. But anyway, I had one site
go
say
with
it
it.
was Tim Notke, another say it was Kevin Durant. Anyway, maybe they said it
Love it.
together,
Yeah,
holding hands
in unison.
in unison. That was the first one. My second one is success is where preparation meets opportunity.
Oh God,
Todd
that's so
Todd
good.
Hamernowski.
Curling legend.
I don't know who said
I
that.
love
Yeah,
the
I don't know
hammer,
who
man.
said that, but I've heard that one before. And
Should have been Todd.
as a coach, we kind of throw these sayings out every once in a while, and that one I've used before. So hey, we got an
So
opportunity.
inspirational.
Are you prepared?
Yeah.
Did you work hard enough during the week? Here's your opportunity. Are you ready for it? It's a good one. So those are my
It's
5
good.
and 4.
It's good.
Yeah, for me, we talked about being old school earlier, and one of my favorite coaches, sports figures, is John Wooden. And so my 5 and 4 are both John Woodenisms. But number 5, he said, "It's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen."
Wow.
And I am such a huge believer in
deep.
this in coaching. I often tell my girls that you cut an inch off that corner of this sprint, and or you go short to the touchline by 5 feet when you could just get all the way out there to the edge of the field. Those little things make such a difference in how we perform as a team. And so this is something that I'm always harping on. I think it's hopefully something that these girls take away for life, because obviously it travels well beyond sport. But such a good one there from John Wooden. And I think most of the young people I work with in coaching, it's something that they can definitely learn from, because a lot of them like to cut corners.
Did you read Wooden's book? Speaking of books, did you read John Wooden's the book he wrote? I don't know what it's
think
called,
I ever
but
have that.
I
Yeah,
have.
I don't
I
think
think
I
I
ever
have that
have.
one, and I read that. It's pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
If I find it, I find it, I'll mail it to you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to read that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen his pyramid of success, but I mean, honestly, I feel like people could just put that on their wall and soak that in every day. It would definitely help. And number 4, a coach is someone who can give correction without causing resentment. This is such an art form, because especially when you're working in Pat, I'm sure you can relate here coaching tennis. But it's just such an art form to be able to relate something to someone, saying basically you're doing this wrong, but you don't want to say it that way, right? And so if you can promote them through like, have you thought about doing it this way, because this is how it can positively benefit us, or whatever it is. So anyway, these are just parts of sport. I thought both of these relate to coaching and John Wooden, and I relate a lot to these in my day-to-day.
Wow, you guys went much more deeper and existentialist, I think, here. I don't know, man.
Eric's first
feeling
one's
all
going to be
motivational. I'm going to be
sweep
like,
the legs or get him a body bag.
Yeah, get him a body bag.
Put him in a body bag.
No, and I've got a couple like good cliches that I think are good, but I'm starting just from a general standpoint, I will just shout out how many of like the team specific slogans that I love, such as like Texas's "Hook 'em." I think that's cool, and Michigan's "Go Blue." Most teams have them, and those are great. Pat, you have "Skull Vikes," which I think is cool.
Mhm.
What do the Huskies or Seahawks have, Bill? Like,
Bow
what's
down
their
is the Huskies.
what's it called?
Bow
Bow down.
down.
Oh, bow
Their
down. Okay.
yeah, their song is "Bow Down to Washington."
Okay.
Been played
So like
forever
if
and
you
ever,
see a
so.
Husky, like a guy wearing a Huskies sweatshirt, you'll
I
say
would
like bow down.
I don't
Because
know.
that seems a little creepy.
It's not
Yeah,
like roll
it's a little-
tide. Roll tide.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll tide.
Bow
Tide,
down.
No.
yeah.
Go
Yeah,
go
so
dogs.
just in general.
Go dogs
but
would
I'm
be what
actually
you would say.
go
Yeah,
dogs.
go
Okay,
dogs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go dogs. Okay, but I'm actually going. I'm going with Pat's ancestors on this one, and going with play like a champion.
Yeah,
today.
love that.
And
Yeah.
Love
fun fact about this though, guys.
Tap
I had no
it.
idea. And I doubt you guys know this, and I doubt most of our listeners know this. I had no idea. So this is a sign and saying that the Notre Dame players touch before walking on the tunnel to go play against. When do you think it was introduced? Like when
Way
do you think
later
it was
than we
introduced
would
by
think.
the?
Yeah. I would have said like the 20s.
Yeah,
Or the 30s.
1986. by Lou Holtz.
1746. Oh,
Lou Holtz.
close.
Now for Notre Dame. For Notre Dame, 1986.
Wow.
Lou Holtz put it in there. But here's the surprising thing. It actually originated in the 1940s at the University of Oklahoma by legendary coach Bud Wilkinson there, and they still use it today. And they have a travel version that they take and touch before every game. So leave it to Notre Dame to steal something and pretend that they came up with it when it really it was not something that they had any part of. But anyways, they're famous for it. And then number 4, guys, winning isn't everything. It's the only
thing.
This saying is also, this is famously and wrongly attributed to Vince Lombardi, who popularized the late 50s, but it actually originated from UCLA coach Red Sanders as far back as the 1930s.
Bill's grandpa.
And Lombardi probably
my
heard
boy.
it. Yeah. But I love this quote, guys, because when it comes down to it, I know our society today, it teaches kids just go out, do your best, put forth effort, all that. Great. That's great for kids. But when you're playing competitive sports, nobody gives a shit about who came in second place or almost won a game. Nobody's like cheering, let's finish second. No, we
It's kind of like if you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought about
Shake and
that
bake.
one.
Shake and bake.
So it's all what we remember are the teams who won the games, not the freaking losers. So I love that one. Winning is the only thing. Now, obviously, I want you to do it ethically, and I don't want cheating. You want to put a punter's jersey on, fine, but let's not. Let's do it the right way. But still, winning is the most important thing.
Nice.
All right, what do you got, Pat?
3, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over and over in my life, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan. Which is a good one. I think it kind of like for me, I'll when I'm teaching tennis, I'll talk to people about, hey, the best players in the world win 53% of their points played. So that means 47% of the time they're losing. You got to learn how to lose. You got to learn how to lose. So every time you fall, pick something up. So it's you gotta figure it out through loss. But MJ's the GOAT, the goatiest GOAT to ever GOAT. So why not do an MJ quote here? And then my other one is, the more I practice, the luckier I get. Gary Player.
Interesting.
Gary Player.
Yeah, nice.
I also use this one with players when they'll be like, "Oh, that was a lucky shot." Well, the more you practice, the luckier you get. It's almost like to the point where anytime I hear someone say that, it's like a.
I mean, I thought of a very
reaction.
similar one. I thought of practice makes perfect. That's something you hear all the time, and it's very true.
Yeah,
good.
That's awesome. So these next 2 for me were quotes that I had growing up, coaches use. My number 3, shout out if Chris Lowry's listening, his dad, Dick Lowry, my first soccer coach, big fan in life. He was a second parent to me. He passed away earlier this year. He always told us when we were little kids, winners never quit and quitters never win.
Oh, that's good.
it's just one of those phrases that's always stuck with me. And you know, you just can't quit. I don't care what the score is. You just go out and you just perform the best you can until the last whistle. So really good one there. Rest in peace, Dick Lowry. The other one that he said a lot, and this was some other coaches too, but this goes a lot to what we've been talking about today. The single celebrations when you're down 30 points. You just can't do that. There is no I in team, right? There is no I in
how
team.
did I not think of that one?
Mhm.
I love
Yeah,
that.
and truer words have never been spoken.
But there is a me.
Yeah, there is me. That's true. That's funny. That's always the comeback, right? And I think that this travels beyond sports and in life. I'm just such a huge believer in teamwork and the team aspect of things and all that we do in life. And so there is no I in team.
Awesome. All right, guys. Number 3, one of my favorites. If the other team can't score, they can't win. So we're going with defense wins championships. It might be
Love
boring, but I love a good slug fight. People bitched about the 10-7 Broncos Raiders Thursday night game last week. I loved it. I found it interesting. The games are also shorter when, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You're not scoring a ton. It's probably one reason I tend to bet more unders than I do overs. And Bill, you got to back me up with this one. 2013 Seahawks, they had the number 1 defense and held the number 1 scoring offense, that Broncos team, to only 8 points in the Super Bowl and won it all. So
First
they
thing I thought
proved
of.
defenses truly do win championships. And just recent college football, my Michigan Wolverines in 2023, Georgia in 2021.
I always think of the 01 Ravens.
Yeah,
Ravens.
01 Ravens, 85 Bears, or
91 Huskies.
Yeah.
91 Huskies,
Yeah.
best defense in the country. Yep.
No, they're not one that comes to mind, Bill. We don't think of the 91 Huskies.
What? You don't think of the 91? Top of mind.
But no, I love it. I think we all get excited about offense, talk about offense, but I do truly believe defenses are a big deal. So, all right, my number 2, guys. I'm gonna show you this one. Okay.
Okay.
Show you this one. Here we go.
Feel bigger? Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Chicks dig the long
Hey,
ball.
have you guys seen Mark?
You guys seen Mark?
I've never seen that. That's
a good
awesome.
one.
You've never seen the Chicks Dig the Long Ball commercial?
I don't think I've ever
my
seen that commercial. Yeah.
God. Oh my God.
So good.
Yeah. Love that saying, love that phrase. That was from a 1999 commercial that you just saw, and that
Have you guys
Chicks
seen
Dig the
Mark?
Long Ball.
Nice.
That's so good.
All right, number 1, Pat.
Number 1 for me is The Legs Feed the Wolf from Herb Brooks
Ooh,
and
yeah.
Miracle. I say
Yeah.
this to my tennis players often. If you want to eat, move your feet, push the legs till they feel like they're going to rip out of your skin. So many kids stop the minute things become just a little uncomfortable. I got a little bit of pain, and you got the legs feed the wolf. If you want to win in a sport where stamina and movement are a huge part, it starts in the legs.
Yeah.
I use it all the time. Soccer, you could say it. Hockey,
Yeah, for
legs.
sure.
You got to keep those legs churning, and that's what's going to win the championship. So, yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
legs feed the wolf.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm
That's good.
gonna use that one for sure. That's really
Mhm.
great for soccer. Mine, I went with probably the goatiest goat in one of the sports that I love. Money is not a motivating factor. Money doesn't thrill me or make me play better because there are benefits to being wealthy. I'm just happy with a ball at my feet. My motivation comes from playing the game I love. If I wasn't paid to be a professional footballer, I would willingly play for nothing. And that's Lionel Messi. And this is something that I talk to Will, my son, about all the time. Do not play the game or the sports for the I'm on this team or I've got this thing. Do it because you love to play. And if you love to play, those things will happen. And it's just, I think Lionel just nails it with that. And now, granted, he makes so much money. You kind of go, really? I mean, you have a lot of good stuff in life. But I think that shows that if you see the clips of that kid playing when he was, you know, 6, 7, 8 years old in Argentina, you can see that love for the sport. So anyway, that's my number one.
Hi, guys. So my number one is a very famous saying. I'm going to show it to you. It's actually probably more famous of a saying because of the visual that goes along with it, yet it's still a very famous saying, one we all know and one that I particularly like. So let's watch this.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Yeah, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. I used to love watching that show as a kid. I loved it for that. Like I loved seeing that, I loved hearing that. And it's true. It's true. It feels so good when you win, and
Is that Jim
it is so
McKay?
tough when you lose.
Yeah.
That's Jim McKay.
Eric, what a flashback to our youth.
Nice, guys. Okay. Well, as always, once again, you both brought it super strong. Thank you. Another fun show. Always so awesome to do this with you boys. Of course, thank you to everyone in CMN Nation for joining us and listening. We appreciate all of you. Be sure to check us out at cmnsports.com or follow us on social media. We would all love to keep it going today, but sadly, it is time to exit CMN Sports. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy the games. Peace out and take care.
Good luck, everybody.